Okay, so I'm working on a very, very tall canvas today, and I'm going to be making something that's, shall we say, reminiscent of something you may not recognize. So I'm going to try a version of mocking in this painting that I have not tried before, because I love my pencil drawings, and I can't let that go. But I saw this interesting technique where someone used Stabilo pencils, drew in what they felt like was a line drawing of the painting, and then used clear gesso to kind of start to meld it into a more paint form. And that allowed them to get the pencil drawing out of their system, but then they also kind of immediately got to work with the painting part of it as well. So we'll see if that works. I have mad quarantine hair that I just don't have the energy to fix, so I apologize in advance for that, and here we go. Okay, hopefully by now you can tell what I'm drawing, otherwise I have failed completely. But it is a lovely tightrope walker, slash ballerina, I guess, tightrope walking above an alligator, crocodile, not really sure. This is of course inspired by Haunted Mansion, but I don't want it to just be Disney fan art, so I'm trying to adapt it to my own aesthetic and add some bits and pieces that will make it my own. Whether or not someone will look at this and go, that's a SarahDonawerth original, or they'll just go, wow, that lady really tried to do Haunted Mansion, only time will tell. So now the next portion is to take the clear gesso and to blend this in, because the problem right now is if I just go in with acrylics, it will pick up the pigment because this is water soluble. So basically we're going to prevent that from happening by clear gesso, which will also blend it a little bit, so I'll lose some of the precision and be able to paint on top of it, but it'll also seal in all of that water solubleness and make me able to paint on it without just being infuriated that previous colors are working their way through. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure that when you are going over this with the clear gesso, you're going over the entire line drawing. This is already primed, so I'm not too worried about covering the whole thing, but I do want to make sure that every single piece that I touch with the Stabilo pencil gets a little bit covered and a little bit worked over. So I am going to start with the lightest color and then work my way to dark. So brown will be last. And I can rinse my brush in between, but if you just start from light to dark, then you save yourself a little bit of the work from having to cover up stuff that bled through. So here we go. Okay, done with that first step. As you can see, I actually really love what it did to the skirt. Unfortunately, you know, we're gonna cover it up with acrylic paint, but it did do this lovely thing where it sort of smoothed out the whole design and made it just a little bit more concrete. Now, did it totally mess up the face? Kinda. It's definitely a smudgy mess at this point, but I still have the basic geometry of the face. Everything's gonna get covered with acrylic paint anyways, so there's no need to worry about anything at this level because it is what it is. And it's all getting covered up. So next step is acrylics. Okay, so a new day, new paint. So between this video and the last video segment, I realized that her legs were too tall, like way too tall. And so her femur would have been like 10 feet tall. Like it was too much. So I actually blocked in new feet higher up to make her not a disproportionate giant. But that also means that I have these weird straggler feet from before. So in order to help me visualize it just that much more, because every step that you take is visualizing the next piece of it and visualizing the next piece of it, so you never tackle it all at once. So I am going to actually block in the blue background. It won't even be the final color, but it's literally just to help me refine some of the places that the sketch has gotten big. And this also happened to be a color that I had like a ton of. So it's the only thing on my palette at the moment, and we're just gonna go for it. I really love it. Whew. It's finished because I can't think of anything else to do with it. And I think it looks amazing considering this is probably one of the more complex things I have ever painted. And like this skirt, life goals. That is how I want all paintings to look. It just looks like so effortless and there's high contrast, but like I blended it really well and there's like 6 different colors, but it doesn't look crazy. Whew, yeah, so I also was really nervous about putting in the face because my faces kind of all look one way, but like I was nervous and I'm like, well, she's got to have a face, so I really can't like put this off anymore. And so I finally like get it on there and I'm like, it ended up being one of those faces that I'm like not super pleased with. And then I go, oh shoot, I forgot to add the whites of the eyes, and I add the whites of the eyes and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it looks so good. So I even added like flowers to her hair because at one point I accidentally stuck my like pinky in some yellow paint and got a blop of yellow paint there. And so I put flowers in her hair and I actually really love it. I should put flowers in everyone's hair. So yeah, this was the painting. I hope you guys really liked it. There were some like bumps and bruises along the way, but I feel like it turned out super good. So yeah, that's it.